Hi, welcome. My name is Charlotte. I love colorful and sparkly makeup. Today's video is going to be the September update to my deck of panning project pan. I did miss the August update because the footage I got for it didn't come out, or I didn't like how it came out, so I decided to scrap it and wait for the September update. So I did get some new items rolled in during that scrapped footage. I'm going to give you a recap here today when I get to those items, letting you know what I rolled in and what prompt I rolled it in for. When I decided to not post that video, part of me was secretly glad that I got an extra little freebie month where nobody was gonna judge me for how little progress I was making towards my goals. But I do have 3 rollouts today, and obviously I have the rollouts from last month, which are going to be new for you. So that's a lot of new stuff to talk about. Of course, I will link Emily of Emily and Max down below, as well as her video, which explains how you can take part in this project if you are interested. Emily created this project and she continues to run it for us, reshuffling the game board every month. It's a fun project. I don't think that the September update of Deck of Panning is going to bring a ton of new people to my channel, but if you happen to be new or unsubscribed, consider subscribing and like this video. Let's get into my progress. So beginning with the item that has been in this project the longest, this is an eyeshadow called Potion. It is depotted from the Beauty Bay Midnight Palette. It's this beautiful deep cerulean color. I absolutely love it. I rolled this in April for 10 uses. And I thought I would be wearing a lot more blue eyeshadow over the summer. I did wear this every time I wore blue eyeshadow this summer, but I guess it wasn't as often as I expected. I rolled Potion in for the shade In It for the Long Haul, so it makes sense. I have been making progress on this, but it's been going very slowly. And as of the August update, I had 7 uses on this. I did manage to use it an additional 3 times during the past month. And on that 9th time, I hit pan. So it feels good to have pan in this eyeshadow, which is a shade that I really love, but it's obviously a more vibrant, less everyday shade. So this is exactly the kind of lid shade that I would love to get good usage on in my collection. That said, I've only ever used this 16 times in its life with me, so these Beauty Bay pans are pretty shallow. But yeah, I really love this one. I'm happy to have it rolled out of the project because I'm really not as excited about these tones. Like this look I put on today is very summery. I wanted to, this is how I like to wear this shade. I really like to pair it with other bright colors, vibrant, saturated, light colors. And that's not exactly what I'm in the mood for at this point in the year, so I'm glad I finally get to roll this out. The next oldest item in this project is another eyeshadow called Social Butterfly. This is from Looxi, another shade that I just absolutely love, and I have definitely come to appreciate this more since it's been in this project. It's a rose gold base with a gold shimmer that sort of has like a green shift. It's also a really nice toasty end of summer shade. These Looxi pans are definitely a lot deeper than the Beauty Bay ones. I do have pan on a good number of my Looxi shades, but they are exclusively kind of topper inner corner type shades. So it's not surprising to me that this is taking me a little bit longer, but I do have a nice kind of wide dip going in it. So for a lid shade like this where I'm typically dipping in with a finger, it's definitely going to use up more of the eyeshadow to hit pan. It's a really good shade for the fall as well, so I'm, perfectly happy to keep working on it. If I didn't mention, my goal was to hit pan on that. As of August, I had only used this 5 times, and I only used it 2 additional times, so my total is currently at 7 for this project. Just for curiosity's sake, I have been tracking my eyeshadows since the beginning of 2023, which means that it's been the entire time that I've had Social Butterfly in my collection. So I had used this 9 times before I rolled it into the project. I think for the sort of inner corner Looxi shades, I hit pan more somewhere in the low 20s. Yeah, so I'm only at 16 total uses with this so far. So yeah, this might stick around for another couple of months. I might up my usage on it during the fall months. For the prompt Has a Pan, I have been working on this ColourPop Super Shock highlighter since I believe June. And I pulled this in with the goal of finishing it, but within this project, I've given myself the option of rolling out a longer haul goal once I hit 30 uses. I'll have to look back at the footage from June to see if there's any pan expansion on this. I do tend to use a brush when I use this product, and so I'm getting like sort of that shallow, wide wear down on this, which is not as fun to track. Every so often I try to apply it with a finger just to see the pan expand a little bit, but I really don't know how much difference we'll see. I've been trying to finish this for ages and it just sort of goes and goes. As of August, I had 26 uses on that, and I have 38 uses today, so 12 additional uses. I have surpassed that 30 uses benchmark. I think I am going to roll this out of this project, but rest assured I am still working on this, and it's actually sort of part of my unofficial end of year project pan that I'm calling Makeup Hanging On for Dear Life. I will link that video down below if you're interested. There's just a bunch of products in my makeup collection that are really close to finishing, and I'm trying to do a final push on them from now until the end of the year. I honestly don't know if this is one of them. I don't know if this will be an empty this year or even next year, but it would feel really good to have that as an empty. In any case, I'm gonna roll it out of this project, roll something new in its place, but this will stay in my other project and I will continue to track the progress. I just didn't want it to take up a space in this particular project. Now we're getting into the items that I replaced in that August update I didn't post. So just to quickly update you, I did finish this Makeup Revolution Fix and Glow setting spray. I rolled it into the project with only about this much left. That was for the prompt Easy Peasy Lemon Squeezy. It took me 2 months, I think, to finish it. So I finished it at 18 uses within this project. Last month I also rolled out this pair of blushes. This is Milani Luminoso and Essence the blush in the shade Bespoke. I rolled those in for the prompt powder. I just decided to split it between 2 products, and I set a usage goal of 4 uses per blush. This was just because I don't tend to get tons of usage on my powder blushes, especially during the summer. So when I got the prompt powder, I thought it was a good opportunity to get some usage on both of these. I hit those 4 uses on each of these within 1 month, rolled them out in the August update. And then finally, I had this BYOP, which is a dupe of the Byredo Mineralscapes palette. I had this in the project for 7 uses. And if you're interested in seeing me build this palette, I will link the video down below. So one more opportunity for a shameless plug on that video. And I had rolled that in June, I believe, or May. Yeah, I rolled that in May for 7 uses for the prompt brand new. Now finally, for the items that I rolled in last month to replace those items I hit goal on, I feel like you might suspect I'm lying, but last month I rolled in 2 really easy cards. Easy Peasy Lemon Squeezy, which I had already had recently in this project, and also Baby Goal. So it was a relatively easy month for me with those new products. First, for the Baby Goal prompt, I rolled in this liquid blush from AOA Studio, which is called Cumulus. So I actually kind of mentally decluttered this and just hadn't gotten around yet to cleaning out the container and bringing it to Sephora or Ulta to recycle it, which PSA, you can recycle beauty empties through the Pact Collective. They have drop boxes at Sephora's and Ulta's. I know that exists in Canada and in the US. You can find all the information about what exactly is accepted on their websites or on the Pact Collective website. I can link that below as well. But in any case, I was planning to recycle this and just, you know, trash the contents, declutter it from my collection. I found that it was patchy, it lifted my foundation. I really don't like liquid blush, and I just sort of decided it wasn't for me, even though this color is pretty cute. I reconsidered because I heard a bunch of people talking about this shade. I heard people describe this as a red, interestingly, and I was sort of into red blush this summer. Still am, but yeah, I kind of wanted to revisit this shade. So I set the baby goal of using it 2 times, because I remember last time when I pulled this from my shop, my stash, at the beginning of the year, I used it literally 1 time and it ruined my makeup. So I just didn't reach for it again for the entire rotation. So I knew this was sort of high risk, and I don't care to force myself to use it if it's not working. Lo and behold, I didn't like it. It didn't look as bad as the last time I used it, because I think I, you know, maybe learned from my mistakes. But it's just too fussy. I really don't like liquid blush, I think. And I even have that e.l.f. Camo liquid blush, which I really like, and I like the color, and I like how it ends up looking, but I'm less inclined to use it. Like, I'll plan to use it and then I'll end up using something else just because it's an extra step, it's a risk. I never want to ruin my makeup at the point when I'm putting on blush. So I think in the future, liquid blush is just not for me, and I have similar shades to this in other formulas or things that can create the same effect. So I'm ready to declutter this for real. I made the right call, and yeah, this is gonna be rolling out and leaving my collection. For Easy Peasy Lemon Squeezy, I rolled in this palette from Flower Beauty. This is the Jungle Lights palette. It's gorgeous, I love it so much. And I rolled this in with the goal of like no pan left behinding these shades or using each of them 1 time. I thought this would be, you know, an easy goal because there's only 6 shades, but also these tend to be one and dones for me. They're pretty easy to use. They're, you know, good for when I don't have that much time to do my makeup. So I thought it fit the theme. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And so far I have used Tiger Lily, Anaconda, Amazon, and Paradise, and I still have these purple shades, which is only 1 look really because I can use those together. I do use this one on its own without a deepening shade, but I don't really use this one on its own, so I'll just create 1 more look out of this. I think I'm gonna leave this in the project. I also really like this as a fall color story. I think it could work for many times of year, but to me this really feels like a fall vibe. So it'll be nice to just have this out. With these looks I created, I was a little bit more creative than I usually am. Usually I just use these 4 shades as one and dones. I use this in the inner corner and I basically don't use that shade. This month I did shake it up a little bit, combined these shades with other shadows in my collection, and it worked better than I expected actually. I have this idea that these are like a cream formula that doesn't play well with other formulas, but I think it's actually not that bad, and I really liked the looks that I got out of this. The final product that I had in my project for this past month, I rolled in for the prompt most recent purchase. This is the Rituel de Fille highlighter in collaboration with Andromeda. This is part of the Viridescent collection. And the shade is Borealis. And it's a beautiful green iridescent highlighter. I love it. I'm wearing it today, which I will be curious to see how it looks on the footage, because I actually can't always tell how green it looks. I tend to wear it when I'm wearing green eyeshadow, but also kind of as a neutral to pair with, you know, either neutral eyeshadow or like something warm toned or something that goes with green. So I've been really loving using it and kind of treating it just like a neutral highlighter. I have the goal of hitting 15 uses with this. I have 9 uses from the past month, and so I'm keeping this in the project. I don't think it will be any trouble to hit 15 uses, and it has been a joy to use. To recap, I'm rolling out this eyeshadow, this blush, and this highlighter, and I'm going to draw 3 new cards. I somehow ended up with 6 items in this project, and I'm totally happy to keep it at 6. So I'm going to draw 3 new cards. We'll see what we get. I did just shuffle. Haven't actually played with these cards in a while, so they shouldn't be too different from last time I filmed a deck of panning update. To start, we have the 7 of Hearts, 4 of Spades, and the 3 of Spades. I am bad at shuffling, for the record, but I haven't looked at the game board, so there's really no way I could be hacking this. So looking at the game board, that 7 of Hearts represent another project. I'm gonna have to look at what that means. Spread the love, showcase a project you perhaps would have liked to participate but couldn't add it in. That's really fun, okay. Okay, I'm excited about that one. For the 4 of Spades, spotlight a panner. And the 3 of Spades is influenced. Ooh, these are very open-ended. Okay, this might take me a while. Okay, I'm back. I have my 3 items. Now that I have a dedicated project for items I'm trying to finish, these are all gonna be usage goals. I mainly have usage goals in this project anyway because it takes me so long to finish makeup, but these were really fun categories. For the prompt, represent another project, I would have really liked to take part in the graveyard project pan this year, but I just don't really pan enough makeup to feel like I could do that one this year. It also tends to be like more challenging items that people put in that project. This one's not necessarily challenging, but I am resurrecting this NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in the shade Rome. I had this in my project pan in 2023, and I wanted to finish it. Now, it was actually a different version of this. I kind of screwed up a little bit by decanting that before it was ready. It's very hard to see how much you have left in these things, and it was not fun to use that way. It was also drying out, so I didn't finish that, and instead I repurchased the whole lipstick, which I know sounds crazy. I have a saga with this lipstick. It's like, this is the microcosm of stupid decisions I've made about makeup. But the fact is, I'm not even sure that I still like this shade. So I'd like to get a handle on it, figure out if I want to declutter it. It's a lot pinker, I think, than I initially thought it was. So I want to use this 10 times, I think is an okay goal. It might take me more than 1 month, but this is a decently good fall shade, so hopefully it won't be too challenging. For the prompt, spotlight a panner, Lara Likes Mascara on YouTube is doing a project this year that she's calling a blush roulette, and I would really like to take part in this project. Also, I thought about using that for the previous category. In fact, I think I will. I think I'm going to do something like this on my channel next year. Not totally sure yet, but I'm really inspired by her videos in that series. So I decided to roll in another blush, but this is the shade Ember from Phytosurgence. It's a pretty bright orange. It's something I haven't been reaching for organically in the past few months. It's just one of those shades that like you have to sort of plan the look around it, I guess. It's just I don't always remember to do that, I think is the main thing. So I'm gonna roll this in also for 10 uses. I think that's kind of ambitious for me. I'm feeling a little more ambitious this update because I've had so many roll-ins. And then finally, for the prompt Influenced, I'm going to roll in the shade Ice Blank from Shine by SD and Seekingshifts. I was influenced to buy this shade by pretty much everybody, lots of people on Instagram. Seekingshifts, Riley herself, had beautiful, beautiful swatches of this that definitely drew me in. Hope Mess Tom raves about this shade. I think Ivy from Better Than Basic also talks about this one. It's really, really beautiful in swatches, but I've mentioned before, I have trouble knowing how to use this on my eyes. I use a lot of iridescent blues, but never something with as much like orange and beige as there is in this one. It's sort of almost like a cross between a champagne color and a blue iridescent. So I'm going to roll this in for 10 uses. I don't think it will be another like 5-month 10 uses like this one was, because it's an inner corner shade and those are pretty versatile. So to recap for you again, for this next month, I'll be working on this eyeshadow Ice Blink. I'll be working on this blush Ember, this lipstick Rome, my beloved Borealis highlighter. I need to get 2 more uses out of this palette, and I'm still working on Pan on Social Butterfly. Thank you so much for watching. I know today was a much longer update than usual, but I so appreciate you for being here on this channel, and I hope to see you in another video very soon. Bye!